The Kuka Center for Leadership and Faith is established to promote good governance and create awareness on peaceful coexistence in the country. To this end, the center has paid a courtesy call to the Sokoto State House of Assembly to seek for collaboration effort to sustain peace in the state. Leader of the delegation, Reverend Father Attabar Kendo, described the center as a partner in progress, especially in the area of peace. Adding that they are in the state for a funded project by the United Kingdom in Sokoto State. The clergy says community policing is among initiatives the center is advocating to complement the federal government efforts in ensuring security of lives and property of the citizens. Noting that the bill has passed the second reading at the National House of Assembly.
Increasingly, different states are now relying on volunteer groups, vigilante groups, in order to support communities tackling issues of insecurity.
The Speaker, Tukurbola Bodenga, representative underscores the significance of the visit and commending the Center for its foresight, assuring that the 10th Assembly is always ready to collaborate with any organization that has the people of the state at heart.
Raising an evident law that lead to the emergence of the cause. It was the 10th Assembly that passed the law.
Currently, the bill has passed second reading on the floor of the House and subjected the public hearing that critical stakeholders and now waiting for the National Assembly's approval for the demonstration of the law.
The Local Government Administration Bill 2025, passed by Lagos lawmakers, received the assent of the governor on May 7, 2025. With less than 2 weeks before the local government election, the House of Assembly received a letter from the State Solicitor General stating that the Local Government Administration Law 2025 should not come into effect until August 4 this year.
The provisions of the law cited in your correspondence, namely sections 27.5, 28.1, 28.2, and 28.4, shall not come into effect until the aforementioned said appointed date.
The letter titled Lagos State Government Commencement Order Local Government Administration Law 2025 elicited reactions from the legislators. Chairman Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs described the message as an attempt to undermine the integrity of the Assembly.
The Constitution provides for executive order, but it does not allow you to vary or to reduce the law. The law is more superior to executive order. So this we must abide with. The sanctity of our law must be respected. Just very recently, Mr. Speaker, you talk about us upholding the dignity of the House.
Others wondered why a law that has been made public by the assent of the governor will be deferred by a commencement order.
This law is already made public. So how does the government look? How does the legislative arm defend a law that has already been put out there? Even if you want to change the commencement date, sir, there are applications, there are rules. Even our rules and standing order says it. You have to come back. It's a legislative process. If you have issues, you have to come back to the House, and then the House will now look at amending. By repealing, then we can amend and then push it out again. But giving an executive order, to me, it seems a bit out of place.
The day the governor assented to this law, it has become law of the state. So I think it's an aberration for us to start suspending the law, the execution of the law.
We now look like jesters. And how on earth will an executive order overrule the law of the state, of the Lagos State House of Assembly? So I think this is the time that whatever that might happen, that we should have a rethink and make sure that since the law has been assented to, it must take its course.
Speaker Mudashiwa Basa stressed that the process of making law ends with the assent of the governor on the law, and where the governor refuses to grant assent, Such law can be brought back to the Assembly, but not a letter to alter the law.
We don't want to invite the governor to come and tell us why he has signed commencement order. We don't want to invite, but that does not mean we do not have power to invite the governor, but we limit it to Solicitor General, Attorney General, Director of Litigation, and Commissioner for Local Government with his peers for them to appear before the Joint Committee of Judiciary and Local Government Committee urgently, immediately, and report back to us by, I think, the House will be sitting by Thursday, so to report back on Thursday.
In a related development, the House of Assembly has summoned key officials from Otoawori Local Council Development Area over a leadership crisis following the death of the council's substantive chairman, Musbau Adekunle Ashafa, and the refusal of the vice chairman to be sworn in as substantive chairman. According to a letter sent to stakeholders in Otoawori LCDA and read by the clerk of the House at the plenary, the council's vice chairman, Karim Abiodun, declined to step in as acting chairman, citing his interest in contesting the forthcoming local government election, scheduled for July 12, 2025.
If he does not want to be sworn in, he should resign immediately and allow the other person so he can face his coming election. If he continues to spend council fund, incurring expenditure without being sworn in as the chairman of the local government, then he should realize that he is in trouble. So, Mr. Clark, kindly direct letter informing the governor and commissioner for local government, and at the same time inviting the council manager, the council legal officer, and the treasurer, including the local government service commission, I suppose the chairman, to appear before the Committee on Local Government Administration.
Thereafter, the Lagos State Geographic Information Service Bill 2023 was read for the third time, and the Speaker directed the Clerk of the House to forward a clean copy to Mr. Governor for his assent.
In line with the Section 211 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the State Governor Biodun Oyebanji requested the House to screen and confirm Justice Lekan Ogunmoye as the substantive Chief Judge of Ekiti State.
I hereby present Honorable Justice Lekan.
Going by the standing order of the House, Leader of Government Business Tolu Lopege moved a motion for the admittance of Justice Ogunmoye into the chamber for the screening processes. Chairman, House Committee on Judiciary and Legal Matters, Babatunde Oke, presented the report of the Committee on the screening of the acting Chief Judge, which was adopted as working document of the House. Members spoke about the attributes and integrity of the acting Chief Judge and also subjected him to questions on areas that could have positive transformation to the state judicial system. They were of the opinion that with the antecedents of the acting Chief Judge, he deserves to be confirmed as the substantive Chief Judge. After the report was discussed at the Committee of the Whole House and adopted, the appointment was consequently confirmed.
So, at the end of the vote, 19 voted in support of confirmation of Justice Lekan Ogunmoye. None voted against. On that note, the ayes have it. And this will be transmitted to the governor of the state. Justice Lekan Ogunmoye is now the CJ designate.
The Chief Judge designate, Justice Ogunmoye, expressed delight at his confirmation and pledged technological innovations for the transformation of the state judicial system.
I intend to leverage on technology in moving the judiciary forward. No, there is no option to it. We have to move on to technology. Now, in Ekiti State today, virtual hearing of cases is a thing of reality. No matter how good an innovation is, it will still have to be implemented by human beings. So the staff have to be motivated You have to provide a conducive environment. That we have done. The staff are already happy.
Justice Ogunmoye, who was appointed the acting chief judge in November 2024, is from Omo-Ekiti, in Ekiti's local government area of Ekiti State. He is a graduate of law from the University of Ife and was called to bar in 1987, after which he joined the old Ondo State Civil Service.
The election took place at plenary following the nomination of a new speaker by member representing Langton North Central, Daniel Nambalistic, and Abdul Yanga of Mangu North East. Shortly after his election as the new speaker of the 10th Assembly, Nanlong Daniel paid a visit to Governor Caleb Mufwang, who congratulated him on his election, urging him to ensure that he steers the affairs of the legislature in the positive direction. For the immediate past speaker, the governor applauded his dogged resolutions in enacting laws that are beneficial to the state.
It is a weight that has been placed on your shoulders, a weight to ensure that Plateau State is governed well. I want you to know that this is a privilege that your colleagues have given you. You are equal with every member. It's just that they have told you, you provide us with leadership. My first admonition to you is that they must see humility in everything you do.
The new speaker, Nanlong Daniel, promised to work with everyone in ensuring that Plateau State House of Assembly attains enviable heights.
One thing I can assure you, Your Excellency, is a simple fact that we are going to work together. All of us will put our strength, our energy to ensure that we identify with your policy and program. Anytime, any day you need the House of Assembly, we will be at your beck and call.
The former speaker, Gabriel Dewan, appreciates the governor for the opportunity given him and the support he enjoyed from his colleagues, pledging his loyalty and support at all times.
In order to respect the gentleman agreement in power sharing of Plateau State, I came after stabilizing the House. I feel it's necessary to step aside to give Plateau State the better political sharing formula where the governor, the deputy governor, and the speaker should come from the 3 different senatorial districts. It is on that basis that I decided to resign on my own.
A member representing Yabo constituency, Abubakar Shehu Shamaki, is a matter of urgent public importance, presented a motion regarding the heavy windstorm and flooding occasioned by heavy downpour that wreaks havoc in Kwedaza town of Kilgore district in Yabo local government area of the state.
So as a result of that, I presented a motion calling the House to do call on state government and other relevant agencies to come to the aid of that communities by providing essential commodities and other materials, relief materials for the victims of this windstorm.
Meanwhile, a member from the Sokoto State South 2 constituency, Aminu Garba Gidadu, has moved a motion that requires urgent intervention of the state government and relevant authorities on the need for the construction and more drainage system and the silting of existing ones in the state metropolis and rural areas to avoid the flooding in the state as predicted by Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIME). He noted that over the years, Sokoto State has been battling with devastating effect of flooding that rendered many harmless, loss of lives and livelihoods.
Last year I was part of the committee on flooding and I saw what I saw. What I saw was disastrous. And actually we are trying to see how possible we can prevent what happened last year to happen this year as well.
Members supported the foresight of the lawmakers in presenting the issues before the House. The Speaker, Tukurabala Bodinga, who presided over the plenary, announced the unanimous approval of the House.
After legislative proceedings on the motions presented by the members of the House, as such, the House has also called on the Commissioner of Environment to appear before the House to deliberate on the matter.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
The mid-year assessment of budgetary performance of the various MDAs in Ogun State is aimed at ensuring accountability, transparency, and effective implementation of the government financial plans. The exercise, which he commenced on the 21st of July, is to assist the lawmakers to monitor how public funds are utilized, identify any irregularities or mismanagement, and ensure that the MDAs are achieving their intended goals and objectives. The Speaker of the House, Oludaisi Elemide, also informed members of the screening of nominees into the State Universal Basic Education Commission Board, as requested by the State Governor, Dapo Abiodun.
This is in line with Section 128 and 129 of the Constitution, and we're starting from Monday, 21st July 2025. Letters must have gotten to all MDAs, and if not, letters will get to them as soon as possible. They should tidy up and submit their documents.
Members representing Adodo 1 constituency, Sheriff Yusuf, and his Ogun East constituency counterpart Waliu Owode submitted petitions alleging blockage of road causing flood in Igbala 1 CDA Sinsongwater in Adodo 1 constituency, and also alleged land grabbing in Owu-Ijebu ward in Ogun East constituency. In another development, the House Committee on Justice, Ethics and Petition, headed by Oluseun Adesanya, amicably resolved a petition on chieftaincy matters in Abeshe community in the Ewekoro local government area of the state. The lawmaker representing Ogun Waterside State Constituency, Samsudeen Lawal, informed the House of recurring attempts by developers from Lagos State who frequently invade Odiomi community in Ogun Waterside local government to claim land belonging to the state under the pretense of working for the Lagos State government. Responding, Speaker of the House, Oludaisi Elemide, reiterated the call for the establishment of State Boundary Commission, who will be in synergy with the National Boundary Commission to address this growing trend across the state.
From the Lagos State New Town Development Authority, they went to Odiomi, which is my community. We share a boundary between Lagos and Ogun State. I'm from Odiomi, that's part of the side, that's Ward 10. They have to encroach with a illegal demolition of structures, especially the friendly estates that they bought some land between the community. And they are claiming that that part is part of Lagos State.
Look, let there be more state presence in these boundary areas. If the presence is there and the people can feel it, there won't be temptation of whether they want to go with this state or that state. They will even be willing to fight for their land and say, yes, we belong to Ogun State. Then we should have a sort of boundary commission in Ogun State that will liaise or that will work in tandem with the National Boundary Commission.
The lawmakers, who converged to mark the second anniversary of their inauguration, appreciated the people of the state for having faith in them to continue to give quality representation and lauded the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, for approving the constituency projects fund that will further impact the lives of the people positively. The speaker also appreciated the management of the Olabisi Onabanjo University Agoiwoye, led by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ayodeji Agbola, for donating a new mace serving as a symbol of authority for the House of Assembly, which was immediately put to use through a House resolution.
And I want to appreciate His Excellency, the Governor of the State, for the release of constituency project fund. I said the release of constituency project fund, not into the accounts of honorable members. There is due process.
While the celebration for the second anniversary was shifted to a later date, a bill entitled the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Commission Establishment Bill 2025 scaled first reading before the lawmakers.
As this year's rainy season begins in earnest, the Zamfara State House of Assembly has deliberated on the need for the state government to instruct the Ministry of Security and Home Affairs and Agriculture to ensure that no farmer plants tall crops within 100 meters of any highway. The move is aimed at reducing rising threat of bandit attacks, as such crops are often used by criminals as cover to ambush commuters. While presenting the joint motion, the member representing Affairs, Bello Muhammad, Relwanu Marafa of Anka constituency, and Mustafa Usman of Shinkafi constituency respectively, explained that during the rainy season, bandits exploit the tall crops planted along highways as hideout for launching attacks. They therefore urge the relevant ministries to take immediate action to prevent the planting of tall crops near all major roads in the state. After extensive deliberation, the House unanimously resolved to call on the state government to enforce a ban on planting tall crops within 100 meters of all highways.
As a result of call upon the Zamfara State government, the activities of security and home affairs, and that of agriculture to ensure that tall crops are not planted within the distance of 100 meters during this year's rainy season. Doesn't support the motion, say aye. Once again, say nay. Aye. The ayes have it.
Meanwhile, a bill seeking to amend the law establishing Zamfara State College of Art and Science, Gusau, to rename it Zamfara State College of Art, Science and Technology, Gusau, has passed its first and second readings.
The public hearing, which was attended by various stakeholders, including commissioners, vice-chancellors, provosts, and representatives of academic unions, was a significant step towards ensuring that the bill is comprehensive and effective. Speaker, Niger State House of Assembly Abdul Malik Muhammad Sarkindaji, represented by the deputy leader and member representing Agora constituency, Muhammad Nura Garba, said the public hearing provides a platform for stakeholders to share their views on the matter, which will directly impact the quality and stability of the education sector in the state. He emphasized the importance of the stakeholders' engagement in ensuring that the bill meets the needs of all parties involved. The chairman House Committee on Education and member representing Tafa constituency, Muhammad Sani Idris, while welcoming the stakeholders, said the bill seeks to amend the existing 2020 retirement age law with a view to harmonizing the academic and non-academic staff of state-owned tertiary institutions. He stated that the amendment is necessary to ensure that Niger State is not left behind, given that similar amendments have been made at the federal level in 2012.
Our readiness as a people to move ahead, because your contributions here really matter, because we are trying to come up with something that would define the existence of our institutions. So we are not taking it for granted as an assembly. We will continue to work with you towards making tertiary education better and education sector in general in the state.
Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Abdullahi Adamu Mamangi, commended the lawmakers for their proactive approach to expanding the scope of the bill. He added that the attendance and participation of these stakeholders underscores the importance of this bill and the need for a comprehensive and inclusive approach to its implementation.
They want to carve out the retirement for those on professorial cadre to be very distinct from those of other lecturers. That is as far as teaching staffs are concerned. And for non-teaching staff, there are some categories of staff that are not supposed to stay in service up to that 65 years. Those are the categories now that are being outsourced in other institutions. So I think we also apply that in Niger State. By and large, the house is up and doing, and they've been proactive.
In another development, the House has adopted the findings and recommendations of the Joint Committee on Education, Security and Intelligence on the investigation into the security breaches and robbery attack at Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, Lapai. The committee's report, presented by its chairman, Muhammad Sani Idris, highlighted the urgent need for intervention to salvage the institutions.
We are trying to do something that can bring a lasting solution to this. That's ensuring that we have a legal framework that will back this issue of off-campus accommodation, so that we are trying to come up with a legislation here that we set up conditions for any kind of off-campus accommodation that will be binding on all landlords. It will also be binding on the students, so that we outline the necessary infrastructure that are supposed to be provided and the standard of the accommodation.
The committee's findings revealed that the security breach and robbery attack had a significant impact on the students and the university's overall learning environment.